I'd imagine if Mattie Kenny never heard the word Leash again, he'd be pretty happy with it. Because much like Limerick and hearing about the Kilkenny game on the sideline, he's probably heard of nothing, only Leash since the end of last season. I know I said it to him a couple of times when I saw him at a wedding, and obviously I'd just be messing with him, but it's definitely got to be something that burns and is used for fuel for this season. People do forget that they were missing half a team that day. There were 7 or 8 players missing. I'm just off the top of the head: Owen O'Donnell, Cian O'Callaghan, Liam Rush. There were plenty more. I saw Dublin play in the Walsh Cup against Galway just in the middle of January, and there was a couple of experimental players used for the first time that I'd seen in a Dublin jersey. Probably didn't blow me away. A few of them guys who did stand out that day, I thought John Henderson was really, really good, and he's a player that's been used in the past couple of seasons. Big guy, brilliant striker of a ball, sort of guy that he hits the ball and there's barely a sound off the ball, it just takes off. Lorcan McMullen is someone that a down native that people would have seen within the Dublin Championship for Kilmacud the last couple of years. He was very good. Alex O'Neill from Round Tower and Clondalkin, he was quite good. Like Cian Boland is a guy who probably would have established himself more in the past couple of years, but for injury. Now he didn't run the show now against Galway or anything, but he's another very good player. So for Dublin then, it's just a case of Danny Sutcliffe, can he hit the top form? Like a couple of times last year we did see the flashes of that very top form. Against Galway when they knocked him out at the Leinster Championship, he was very good. He's after being named captain. Mattie Kenny's obviously looking to give a bit more responsibility to him, go out there and lead that team. Sean Moran just came back in that game against Galway that I talked about in January in the Walsh Cup. He'd only come back from Australia the day before, so I think Dublin are obviously lacking a little bit of numbers during January because of the Fitzgibbon Cup. But if they have everyone out in the team, like if you have Owen O'Donnell, if you have Sean Moran, if you have Cian O'Callaghan, Chris Crummy, Tom Connolly's been a good performer there in the last year or so. They actually do have a very good backline, and it's a case of just filling a couple of holes. Other than that, I mean, they are lacking a little bit in the forward line. Mark Shuta hasn't actually played a championship game for the Dublin football hurlers. He was with the footballers for a while, since 2016. So for him, a lot of that has been injury too. If he can have a full season and get back to the heights that we saw in 2016, I think people might remember in the league he went to town against Limerick at Croke Park. But if he can hit the ground running, Conal Keeney, as far as I know, is going back. Just had a kid. Obviously, he wants to, or he was due to have a kid recently. He'll have to hit the ground running. So I think in general for Dublin to kick on, they're going to need everyone pretty much fit, and that's not to take away from the fact that they beat Galway despite having all those same guys that were missing against Leash also missing that day. If Liam Rush can get right, that's also a big one, because he was kind of playing on one leg, one ankle towards the end of last year. So Matty has a full pre-season with the team this time, unlike last year when he got them late, and he probably had lads who weren't even in the middle of their rehab programs when they were meant to be doing them, just because I suppose the ship was adrift after Pat Gilroy left, so there was no one there to organise the situation. That isn't the case this year, so I expect Dublin should actually be better. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll beat Galway and knock someone like that out of the Leinster Championship this year. Maybe Galway would be better, but I think Dublin should be a stronger team. Whether that means that they'll actually go ahead and get as far as they did last year remains to be seen. But at least they should be coming into it with a chip on their shoulder after losing to Leash, who they'll definitely be targeting in the Leinster Championship and want to really lay down a marker there. Let me know where you think Dublin are in the pecking order. Just looking at where the odds, they're 25-1. They're joint 8th ranked in terms of the bookies this year, so not massively favoured, but I think they give most teams a pretty good game. Mattie Kenny is very good tactically. Doesn't leave a whole lot to chance in terms of preparation. I don't think they'll be as far off as that suggests, but the problem is, do they have a couple of guys who can snipe scores? Like Donald Burke was away in America last year. Can he get a few more scores? Will Liam Rush be up there in full forward? Will he be flying fit? Can Eamon Dillon just start more regularly scoring goals? He has the speed and we know he can do it. can Mark Shuday get the scores? Between them all, like, that's a lot of good, decent weapons. I mean, there mightn't be, they'd love to have Con O'Callaghan, they'd love to have a Joe Canning or a Patrick Horgan or a Seamus Callan. I'm not sure that's available to them just now, but I think they have a good balance of decent weaponry otherwise. So I don't see a reason why Dublin should be too far away. Thanks for watching Our Game. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.